Hey drummers, it's Rob here from drumstheword.com. Welcome to this free mini song lesson where today I'm going to show you how to play the best parts, the cool parts, the most important parts of the song Cocaine by Eric Clapton, drummed by Jamie Oldaker. I've got 2 pages of PDF for you to download from my website for free. You'll find a link beneath this website. So have these 2 pages printed out in front of you as we go through this together. It's going to make things a lot easier for you to understand. If you want to make any song suggestions yourself, then please go over to my Facebook page. Again, the link is beneath this video. And really what we've got in this song are 2 things. We've got a main groove. Well, we've got 3 things. We've got a main groove for the verse, which is presumably what most people want to learn because it sounds so cool. We've got these drum fills, which I must admit are a little bit of a mystery. And then we've got a chorus section with some bell with some bell stuff going on. So I've got all those main parts. And we're going to see as we go through this lesson that some of it is questionable, some of it you can change yourself. See what you think as we get to those parts. So let's start off with the main drum beat of the song. I've got the first 4 bars for you written out as the first example, the first 4 bars of the song. And that really gives you an idea of the variations of the bass drum and the open hi-hat stuff and the drum fill at the end. But before we go into that, let me just show you the basic frame we'll be playing around with during the verses. We've got this pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. The right hand, 1 and 2. The tempo of the song is not so fast that you can't play this one-handed. This is how Jamie played it. He played it one-handed. If you wanted to play it double-handed, as in, you could of course do that, but you're going to find that some of the ghost notes are going to be impossible for you to play because your hands are up here, not down here on the snare drum. So just be aware of that slight difference there. So we start to speed it up. And that's our basic groove. Try to emphasise the downbeat with the right hand. That's going to help to give it a bit more forward momentum. Then the final thing that Jamie does is he puts in some little ghost notes in between the hi-hat notes on the E of 1 and the E of 3. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4. The final thing you can do, which I don't think Jamie does on the recording, is this is what I would do, is play a snare drum accent followed by the ghost note on beats 2 and 4. So you're actually filling in all the gaps that way. So you actually get... Just an extra level of dexterity there with some extra ghost notes going on if you wanted to do that. But Jamie is playing throughout the song. So let's take a look now at the first 4 bars because this gives you the variations I was talking about. So we start off with the first bar where Jamie comes in with the crash cymbal 1 and 2 and he doesn't start the extra hi-hat notes until the and of beat 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and So when you've got these crash cymbals, don't feel the need to rush back to the hi-hat to play the and You could just play 8th notes up until a point where you feel comfortable coming back in with them. The second bar has the open hi-hat at the end on the and of beat 4. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1. So you get his open hi-hats occurring on the and of 4 occasionally. Then the next line, bar 3, I'm pretty sure I heard this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm hearing 2 bass drum notes. He definitely does this throughout the song in random sort of improvised ways, where he plays a 1, or in this case, a 3, going into the next bass drum note with a little 16th note skip note. So 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and I don't hear a ghost note being played on the E of beat 1 there, but I did hear a ghost note being played on the E of beat 3. So he is actually varying the ghost notes as well. He's not always playing those ghost notes because just after that previous bar with the open hi-hat, he didn't feel the need to put a ghost note in. So we get 1 and 2 and 4. So we get and a 3. Those two bass drums come down precisely with the hi-hat and a 3, but up to speed, it's really a feel thing. That's a lot of fun to throw in those extra little skip bass drum notes. Then bar 4, we got our drum fill. So up to beat 3, it's our standard groove. And this really was the trickiest part of the song for me to decipher and transcribe, because you can hardly hear it, and also it's a mystery to me exactly what subdivision and what technique he's using. It's in between what I would describe as a buzz stroke roll and a double stroke roll. So I've written it and I'd play it as a double stroke roll. At this sort of tempo, we're filling in the ghost notes, sorry, the 16th notes with doubles. So if we got an accent pattern like 1E and a 2, and he uses this a lot for the other drum fills where he's accenting the downbeat and filling in all the other gaps with the 16th notes. That sort of tempo. We're then going to double up all the other notes in between the accents. That's what I've written, but it's in between that and a buzz roll, where it's sort of like I'm pushing into the snare drum a little bit harder and creating a buzz stroke, which is sort of filling in the space a bit more. It's not exactly 2 notes I'm playing. I'm sort of bouncing the stick as much as I can, as quickly as possible, to kill like a zzz sound rather than a double stroke. So that 4th bar, what we get from beat 3, starting on the hi-hat, 3E and 4E and that would be how you'd hear it played very, very slowly. That's sort of up to speed. So bar 4, but it could also be a buzz. And I'm not very good with buzzes, especially on this electric kit. On a real snare drum, you get a bit more reaction. That was horrible. That was better, but still not very, very clean. But then buzzes aren't supposed to be 100% clean. You're not really feeling a subdivision. So just be aware of that. And last time I mentioned it, because we've got lots of other examples of those, well, 3 more examples of those drum fills coming up. They could be played as buzzes rather than double strokes. I'm going to be playing them as double strokes. So slowly, let me play those 4 bars for you, then I'll play up to speed. So we get 1 and 2 and a 3E and a 4 and a 1E and a 2 and a 3E and a 4 and 1, 2, a 3E and a 4 and a 1E and a 2 and a 3. That last bar a bit faster. Okay, now let me play for you all 4 bars up to speed. So at 34 seconds, we get our example of these band stabs. And the important thing really is to work out where the stabs are, and then you can work out what you can play around it. So the first bar, we get this 4E and stab, 4E and, starting on beat 4, 4E and the crash, the stab, the band stab is on the and to beat 4. In the second bar, we get 2E and 4E and. So 1 and 2 and, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the 4th bar, the stab is on beat 3, 1 and 2 and 3. And then it's a case of just filling in the gaps with what Jamie's doing. So we come into this band stab section with the groove. And then we get this variation on the drum fill. We're playing 3E and a 4E. So before we had, now we get, so we get 3E and a 4E and. Then in bar 2, and I must admit, It feels like he's playing some buzzes there, some double strokes, something's going on, but I can't hear it. So rather than make up what I think he might be playing, which might make this lesson way more harder, I'm going to show you the simplified version of what I think is occurring in this second bar. So basically I'm admitting that I couldn't really hear. I found an isolated drum track version of the song on YouTube, but you can't hear the buzzes either, the double strokes, the ghost notes. So this is how I would play it. We're basically going to roll into those two stabs on 2 and 4 with two ghosted 16th notes, starting on the and of 1 and the and of 3. 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and. Now of course you could double stroke those up. 1. That might be what he's playing. I've written it simply as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but you could play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. In fact, you know what? I'm going to change the notation. You're not going to see that. That is actually what I think he's playing. It makes perfect sense to me. You're just doubling up the first two 16th notes. 1. It's really subtle stuff though. You have to really listen hard to hear what's going on. Then we get the last parts. 1. And again, starting with the two doubles, 1 and, and then this little lovely roll round the drums, 2 E and, 2 E and bass drum fills in the gap, 2 E and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 E and 3 and 1 and 2 E and 3 and 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4, and then you come in with the groove. So slowly, let me play all 3 bars and I'll play up the speed for you. Bit faster. And now up to speed. Okay, 48 seconds, we've got another drum fill that occurs where he plays basically this double stroke roll idea over the entire bar. So we come in with the first hi-hat and bass drum note, and we're going to play 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and then 4 E and. I don't think it's a tom he uses, in fact I know it's not a tom, you can hear it's the same pitch as the bass drum. He plays 4 E and 1 going into the next bar. So we get and of course all the rules apply, making it a buzz stroke roll if you wanted to. Okay, let's see that up to speed a couple of times. So at 1 minute 20 we get another variation of the drum fill. It starts a bit differently though. From beat 1 we get 1 and 2 and. So it's like a build up of 16th notes and 2 and 2. No double strokes or buzzes in that. 1 and 2 and. I think he just plays a ghost note on the and of 2. Then we get the classic coming out from beat 3. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Up to speed a couple of times. So at 1 minute 23 we go into our chorus and Jamie's playing a lot of these really cool bell or orchestrations ideas, variations, and this is not really what I wanted the lesson to focus on. I wanted the lesson to focus on the main groove of the song. All this stuff is improvised, but there are a few repeating ideas that occur that pop out of Jamie's playing as he goes through this section. So I've got the first 4 bars for you to give you an idea of all the variations you could think of really. And there are a few others, but this is really, you can see, he settles into an idea around bar 2 and bar 4. Where we do get this sort of repeating idea. So we start off with bar 1, 1 and 2 and 3, and then sort of near the bell of the ride cymbal, we're going to play and 4 and 1. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And I'm going to sort of naturally accent at the end of a flow of notes. So I'm sort of doing this, and that's sort of what Jamie's doing. If we look at bar 2 though, I think if I remember correctly, there's actually a bit of an accent on the and to beat 1. So we get 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. 2 bass drums note there on the and 2 and 3. 1 and 1 and 2 and 3, sort of that idea. And then from beat 3, we get this repeating idea, sort of, I always think of this as a Neil Peart kind of thing. And 40 and 40 and, that sort of movement as well. So bars 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 40 and, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 40 and 1. Bar 3, very similar to bar 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and but then I think what he plays is 4E, where he does play that ghost note afterwards, 4E and 1 and 1. So he rolls into beat 1 again. Lovely idea, very, very good fun to play that. And then bar 4 is the same as bar 2 above. So all 4 bars together, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 40 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 40 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 40 and 1. And let's do those 4 bars up to speed. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Don't forget to download both pages of the PDF for free from my website. Again, the link is beneath this video. And then while you're at my website, you might want to consider signing up to become an online member. And what I currently offer for £97 is a full year's online access to every single full video song lesson I've ever recorded and transcribed. And that's coming up to 600 full video song lessons where, unlike this lesson, I teach you a song from start to finish. You get the fully transcribed PDF drum chart for each of the song lessons. I teach you every single bar, every drum beat, every drum fill. And like I said, I've got almost 600 full video song lessons teaching you famous and popular songs up on the website already. As a thank you for signing up, I give you access to hundreds more little videos teaching you many, many famous drum beats, fills and even drum solos. I give you 3 ebooks I've written over the years containing hundreds more famous drum beats, fills and solos. And then over the year of your subscription, you also gain instant online access to all the new material that I upload for my members. And I record new lessons every week unless I'm ill or on holiday, so you've got lots of cool stuff to look forward to over the year of your subscription. But if you've got any questions about any of that, then feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. And until our next drum lesson together, toodle pip and happy drumming to you.